all know that Luka Doncic is an up-and-coming superstar in the NBA. But there are things you still don't know about him. How and where he was born and raised? How was he raised by his family? Here are 10 things you didn't know about Luka Doncic. Let's start with Luka Doncic's mother and how he came to be. Miriam Potterbin grew up in Ljubljana, Slovenia, and pursued a career as a model and a dancer. Andre Iguodala was undoubtedly aware of her looks. When Luka Doncic arrived in New York for the 2018 NBA draft, one person drew all the attention: his mother. Andre Iguodala was watching the draft and couldn't stop himself from tweeting, "Mom's decent," during the draft. During her time in Slovenia, Miriam met professional basketball player Sasa Doncic. A Slovenian professional basketball player in the late 1990s at the time. A couple years later, they got married, and Luka Doncic was born in 1999, and the rest is history. To his father's delight, Luka began playing basketball when he could barely walk. Luka joined a local club in Ljubljana when he was 8 years old and began playing for the youth team. It took exactly 2 quarters of a warm-up game for trainers to realize he didn't belong in his age group. Luka was moved with the 11-year-olds because he was embarrassing his peers. He began practicing with the under-14 squad the following season, and this pattern continued throughout his youth career. Luka was Real Madrid's youngest player to make his debut.
Doncic starting to run the show once again. Oh, lovely skill. Oh, have some of that. Luka Doncic.
Luka grew significantly as a preteen, inheriting his father's genes, and reached 6'2" at the age of 12. He was already more skilled than everyone else, and now he was bigger than everyone else, which was so unfair. He worked as a ball boy for his father and Goran Dragic. Given that his father, Sasa, played for the senior team in Slovenia, young Luka would frequently work as a ball boy during games in order to spend as much time as possible with his father. At the time, his father's teammate was none other than Goran Dragic, a current Chicago Bulls player and former All-Star. Dragic and Doncic Sr. won a Slovenian championship, with Luka standing under the basket and shooting shots at halftime in 2008. After scoring a 54-point triple-double in a youth tournament, he earned the nickname Wonder Boy, and Real Madrid became interested in his potential. He signed a contract with them at age 13 and moved to Spain to play for the Real Madrid youth squad. It was difficult for him at first because he was alone and didn't speak the language. He wished to return home numerous times, but was not able to do so. It paid off, as he became the youngest player ever to make his Real Madrid senior team debut at the age of 16 and the third youngest to play in the Spanish professional league. Luka was always ahead of his age, and because he played with athletes much bigger and stronger than him, he developed a variety of moves and tricks that can still be seen in his game today. Luka is often referred to as the youngest ever EuroLeague's MVP and all-decade team selection in Europe. He was also the youngest MVP of the EuroLeague Final Four, a title previously held by Manu Ginobili at the age of 23 and Toni Kukoc at the age of 21, to name a few. Doncic was so good in the EuroLeague, despite only playing 3 years, that he was named to the EuroLeague All-Decade Team. Only 3 players with a higher performance index rating than Doncic have won the EuroLeague. They were all 28 years or older at the time, and Doncic was only 18 years old. In 2019, Luka signed a 5-year deal with Nike. Doncic was one of the biggest sneaker free agent names that season, and it came at just the right time, as he was in the running for MVP. In his sophomore year, Luka was averaging 28.7 points, 9.3 rebounds, and 8.7 assists per game, which was some of the best numbers in the sport's history for a 2-year NBA player.
It's going to take some Luka magic to save the possession. And that's what it is!
The terms of his contract with Jordan were not disclosed, but given his performances and marketing potential, it was most likely not a small sum of money, similar to LeBron when he signed with Nike in 2003. Did you know that Luka idolized LeBron James?
Connects!
Luka Doncic.
He looked up to LeBron as a kid, and their games are very similar, especially in terms of passing and playmaking. Doncic admitted that he was awestruck when he first faced LeBron during his rookie year, and even asked him to sign his jersey for him during the game as if he were an ordinary fan. Luka waited in the hallway for LeBron after the game and eventually got the jersey he wanted. He and the Mavericks were one of the few teams to defeat the Lakers in the 2019-2020 season, and LeBron praised him. When your childhood idol calls you a bad mother effer, you know you're something special. His favorite distractions are watching video games and watching TV. His favorite video game is FIFA. As a teenager, all he did was train and play FIFA. He also enjoys soccer, and for obvious reasons supports Real Madrid since he played basketball there. Friends is his favorite television show, and despite the age difference, he publicly stated during the draft process that he would love to date Jennifer Aniston if given the opportunity. But unfortunately, Luka has 2 dogs and a significant other. Jennifer Aniston had her chance when he was single. But Luka is happily married to Ana Maria Goltes, a Slovenian lingerie model he's known since they were children. Luka lives with her and their 2 dogs, both of whom are prominently featured on his and her Instagram accounts. His dogs are Hugo, a Pomeranian breed, and the other is Gaia, a white Swiss shepherd. Now, you would think Luka only knows 2 languages, but he's fluent in several languages. Some American reporters were surprised to learn that Luka speaks 4 languages fluently. He obviously knows Slovenian, but because his father is from Serbia, he also speaks Serbian, which comes in handy when Boban Marjanovic cracks a joke in his native tongue. During his 6 years at Real Madrid, he learned Spanish and now is becoming more fluent in English. When Kobe trash-talked him in Slovenian, Luka was so taken aback that he had to dab him in a viral moment. If that isn't a compelling reason to begin learning a foreign language, what is? If you liked this video, dunk that subscribe button for more videos like this, and check out this video right here.